وَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا. If they believe as you, Sahaba, believe, then they will be guided. And in fact, Irbad, from the companions, he said, one day we were sitting with the Messenger ﷺ after he had prayed. And he gave us an exhortation, a sermon, whereby our eyes flowed with tears and our hearts were softened. وعظنا رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم بموعظة بليغة وجلت منها القلوب وفاضت منها العيون وفي رواية ظرفت منها العيون وقلنا يا رسول الله كأنها موعظة مودع فأوصنا. We said, O Messenger of Allah, it is as if it is a farewell sermon, so advise us. قال أوصيكم بتقوى الله. I advise you with the taqwa of Allah, to be pious, to be conscious that Allah is watching you. Whatever we say, whatever we do, Allah knows. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. He knows everything that we say and do. يَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنُ وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورُ. He knows the deception in the eyes of the deceiver and what the hearts contain. Allah Azza wa Jal يَحُولُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَقَلْبِهِ. The person's heart can be changed overnight. Allah knows. That's why the person always must be conscious, always must be upon taqwa. Wallahu yuhibbul muttaqeen. And Allah loves the pious ones. The taqwa is to make a barrier between you and the haram. Taqwa is that you do actions of obedience pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking His reward and fearing His punishment, keeping away from disobedience to Allah, fearing His punishment. This is taqwa, as Talq ibn Habib rahimahullah mentioned. Taqwa is that every action you're afraid before you do it, is it going to be accepted? While you do it and after you do it, is it going to be accepted? And you hope and you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you worship Allah upon these three: love, hope and fear. Fearing His punishment, hoping to meet Him, hoping for His reward, and loving that which Allah loves. Loving that which the Messenger ﷺ loves. That is taqwa. And the Messenger ﷺ was the best and the most pious of the people. And the Sahaba radiallahu anhum thereafter. خير الناس قرني ثم الذين يلونهم ثم الذين يلونهم. The best of the people in speech, in action, in belief, in manners. They were the muttaqoon, they were the pious. And you can see from their actions and from their seerah, you can see that which they strove for in memorizing the Quran, in carrying the Quran, in carrying the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hating bid'ah, hating disobedience, loving to be a Muslim. As Allah said, وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Don't die except you are Muslim. And they strove for that. And they strove to keep their identity. That was then, when they were persecuted and tortured. And likewise, we are surrounded in these times with so many things that can take us away from the dhikr of Allah, from the remembrance of Allah. So we need to be upon taqwa. We need to read the life of the Messenger ﷺ. He didn't come for any riches and wealth and dunya. He used to lie on the floor. The marks of the mat would be on his floor, or on his back. The marks of the floor would be on his back. Alayhi salatu salam. He would go and sometimes tie a stone around his stomach out of hunger. He didn't come for dunya. Sometimes he would wake up in the morning, he would say, "Oh, Aisha," radiallahu anha, he would say, "Is there any food?" Sometimes she would say, "No." He said, "Today I'm fasting." This is the humility of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He came to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he was the best of examples in this, and the best of guidance and guiders. And so following his sunnah is from taqwa. Being upon innovation is not from taqwa. Being upon shirk is not from taqwa. Calling upon the dead is not from taqwa. Relying upon charms, relying upon good luck, bad luck is not from taqwa. Fearing others besides Allah is not from taqwa. وَلَا تَخَافُوهُمْ وَخَافُونِي. Don't fear them but fear me. وَلَا تَخْشَوْهُمْ وَخْشَوْنِ. Humility is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your prayer, your sacrifice, your life, your death for Allah. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَاي وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Whatever you do, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're going for Hajj, you go it for Allah. You don't do it for the people to say, "Oh, Hajji. وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ." Whatever you do in your life for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you check the action. And look at the sunnah of Rasulullah. When he would do an act of ibadah, what would he do afterwards? Istighfar, hoping that Allah accepts it. Maybe he made a mistake, maybe. And this is how he taught us to be humble in the prayer, to be humble, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon humility, not to be arrogant, looking down upon others, but rather to look to ourselves, to rectify ourselves, to be better. أوصيكم بتقوى الله والسمع الطاعة وإن تأمر عليكم عبد حبشي. And to hear and obey your Muslim leader in the righteous matters, no doubt. طاعة في المعروف. Even if he be an Abyssinian slave, you don't look down upon him. If he's a leader of the Muslims, you hear and obey in the righteous matters. You don't talk about him in the evil sense. You don't go out against him with your tongue and sword. This is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This was established in the hadith of Irbad and many of the narrations. And the hadith of Irbad is in Sunnah Abi Dawood and Sunnah Ibn Majah and Muslim Imam Ahmad with different wordings. Hadithun Sahih, Lishawahid, numerous reports. And if you read Kitab al-Imara, the book of leadership in Sahih Muslim, likewise, you find numerous reports from the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. And one of the scholars of the Salaf, Fudayl ibn Iyad rahimahullah, said, if I had one dua I was permitted to have, I would make it for the rulers, because in their betterment is in our betterment. People busy themselves with rulers, but they don't realize that all of us are responsible. The rulers and the ruled. They have to rule by Allah's law, and we have to rule by Allah's law. كلكم راع وكل راع مسؤول عن رعيته. We have to rule by Allah's law in our household. We have to rule by Allah's law in our da'wah. We have to rule by Allah's law in our everyday life, in our ibadah and mu'amalat with the people, interactions with the people, and fulfilling the rights of the people. أوصيكم بتقوى الله والسمع الطاعة وإن تأمر عليكم عبد حبشي. And then after that, the Messenger ﷺ said, those who will live after you will see many differences. And what is the solution? فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِسُنَّتِي وَسُنَّةِ الْخُلَفَاءِ الرَّاشِدِينَ الْمَهْدِيِّينَ. This is the solution, to hold on to my sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly guided caliphs after me. عَضُّ عَلَيْهَا, bite onto it. He didn't say عَضُّ عَلَيْهِمَا, bite onto both of them. Because the sunnah of the Khulafa al-Rashidin is the sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ, that they called to the sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ. So when they united upon haqq,